anyway, or at least stepping down to part time, doing something else. But yeah, they were like, "Yep, we're because our customers love to have us open on Thanksgiving and be served by you. We're gonna be open from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. You motherfuckers."
You guys will be fucking dead until like 5:30.
Yep. Well, we'll probably be busy in the morning with people buying pie pans and shit. But other than that,
pie pans.
Whatever. Pie pans and roasters and last minute motherfuckers.
What kind of store do you work at?
I work at Big Lots.
Oh, and they sell a lot of pie pans?
Yeah, we sell pie pans and roasters and all that kind of shit. Like that's one of the reasons they're saying they're going to
pie pan. Is it like an aluminum? Is it like an aluminum like round thing?
Yeah.
And you sell aluminum round things, and you guys peddle them as
pie pans. That's right. Mark them up $2 too.
You got a bunch of fucking 8-year-olds in China manufacturing these little aluminum circles, just so you guys can benefit for them by calling them pie pans.
And they also assemble most of the furniture that we sell too. I always think it's funny too that like most of the Christmas decorations you get are from China, and they don't even those little 8-year-olds over there don't even know what Santa Claus is, and they're making Santa Clauses and fucking nativity scenes and shit for us.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? You're gonna change the world with this podcast?
Nope.
Are you gonna express your political views? Is this gonna be your forum for how you change the world?
One reliving the extreme at a time.
I will change all 15 of you listeners' opinions.
Reliving the China.
Reliving the child labor.
Well, any good news?
No.
How's listenership? Any progress? Doesn't sound great, but
no, we actually.
Well, we've actually went down a little bit.
Well, it actually.
Hey, don't blame us. Blame Tony Stetson and Rock and Rebel. Yeah. As long as they're still there, then our numbers are never going to be good.
Let's see.
I gotta tell you, this has got to be the least amount of notes I've ever made for a show.
Same here.
Jess
Aaron,
goes,
hope you're bringing it.
Jess goes, I don't give a shit how funny you think you are. You ain't getting an hour out of that. Like she was like putting up like Christmas shit, like doing stuff around the house while I was watching it.
Mm-hmm.
So she wasn't paying attention, but she could hear it. And she's just like, this is dreadful. I think that's one of the words she uses, dreadful, awful. I think pitiful was thrown out there.
And rightfully so.
Yeah. I think she called me a couple of obscenities. Some of them were in her Hebrew language. When I questioned her about them, she said no, they were compliments. But who am I to argue?
It's your fault. You're watching this. You're watching this willingly. It's your fault.
Yeah, like who's this Tony Stetson guy?
Yeah, even the people watching him in the arena don't know.
Well, I don't know how you're gonna. We better find some way to get an hour out of this. You guys better have some pop culture shit or something. This was brutal,
dreadful. Well, let me start us, and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah. Maybe an ice cream man or the cops will show up. Give us something to work with.
That's Aaron's intro. That's Aaron's intro. And this week on Reliving the Extreme, we are going to try to get an hour out of the episode from ECW of April the 26th, 1994. I am Nate Maxon, along, of course, with my brother Aaron.
Hello, everybody.
And the star of the show, ECW's own Mr. Chad Austin.
I'm not the star. I'm just kind of like the guy who hitched his wagon to this successful podcasting network.
A guy that's actually worked hitching to these two nobodies doing a podcast about, so far, not such a great TV show. But that being said,
who are you to say that? Who would say you're a nobody? Do you think I think that I'm somebody?
You're more somebody than I am.
Well, that stinks because I think that I'm a nobody. So if you look up to me, then you could. And I look up to somebody like Gary Wolf. Where's that put you?
I'm just looking up to Aaron. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
I'm just,
I don't know about you clowns. I'm a somebody. I'm a somebody.
All I ever wanted to do was fill Gary Wolf's shoes. I wanted to get as far as he got. Maybe I did. I don't know.
He gets a fun promo on this show we're going to talk about.
That.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Why do you think I brought his name up already? he's fresh in the mind. I can't believe he wasn't in the main event of that WrestleMania against Shawn Michaels in like Houston. with the Jose Lothario build up and all that. And, you know, he could have had Johnny Rods in his corner. I don't know what happened and why he wasn't in that position.
Jim Ross is like, Rods and Lothario.
Here we go. Rods to the buckle.
Aaron, anything you want to comment on or anything before we dig into this thing?
No, not really. Sorry.
Thanks for helping out. Appreciate it.
Trying to give you guys a little bit of the spotlight for a change.
Well, good lords, we need it.
Maybe
you're the star of the show.
Maybe we can get one of the 73 people WWE released last week on the show. Jesus.
I could probably get Mia Yim.
All right, let's call her.
I don't know about right now, but I mean, okay. For a future show, I'm sure I can. I have a connection to her.
So
she's a Baltimore. She worked for Baltimore, and she's a Baltimore girl.
No, I didn't know that at all. They said that, or at least I read that, and you know, it's wrestling and it's dirt sheets and it's et cetera, so it is what it is. But they said that they released a lot of those people because they were the ones that would not get vaccinated. I don't know how much truth there is to that, but it's a possibility because they fall under that we employ more than 100 people deal, you know.
Well, do you think it's 100% true, or that's just kind of a false pretense kind of true?
Probably. I mean, probably half and half. Like they probably had a couple people in the list that they could just, you know, use that as justification and then cut the fat elsewhere. They're not going to have a roster left by WrestleMania.
Did they get rid of that guy that Kona Reeves guy or whatever his name is? Did he get released?
I think he was in the last batch. I think he was
he's already been released?
Yeah, he's already been gone.
Oh. I actually liked him.
Honestly, that might be because they said that AJ had like a non-medical reason for not being there or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not knocking him or anything, but with his political beliefs and shit that he's gone out on the record of before and everything, I think that's what it is with him. I think he doesn't want to get vaccinated, but they don't want to release him because he's fucking AJ
Styles.
Yeah.
Why? What happened to him?
Well, I'm just saying he's ultra conservative and everything, so I would assume he's probably not in on the vaccination thing, and I don't think they want to release him. But they're saying that people got to be vaccinated to be at work, so that might be why they don't have him on the show, but they don't want to say.
Aaron, we're talking about the WWE. Do you think everything across the board is 100% for everyone?
I don't know.
Or is there not like an excuse to get rid of anyone? I mean, you understand what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm just speculating. I'm just thinking out loud. But that first thing that went in my mind was that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know who. I mean, I'm vaccinated, but I see on the news all the time people are they get the itis that are even vaccinated.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get the itis vaccinated, unvaccinated, celibate, homosexual. I don't know. Whatever, intergender, however you want to say it. Anybody can get the itis.
The speaking of the itis, this show is the itis here. April 26, 1994.
It's something.
We start off the show with, you guessed it, folks, a recap from last week, with the angle going down with Terry Funk and Sabu, and then we get Paulie, and I don't know if it's Paul Heyman or Paul Harvey, because he says tonight we're going to have the rest of the story.
Yeah, I even wrote Paul Harvey's name down.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jed.
I don't know about you, but I actually kind of really dug the open.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote that it was a great open.
They're telling us that they're going to give us what we did not get to see when the show went off the air last week.
A recap of the week before?
A recap of the week before.
Is that what we're going to get tonight?
It's novel. It's good to see they're trying something new. See if this idea works.
Thinking outside of the box there, aren't you?
Yeah.
We get Joey Styles in the Eagle's Nest, and of course he recaps last week. They do show a little bit more of the stuff with Arn Anderson and Bobby Eaton than they did last week, and then a confrontation between Terry Funk and Arn Anderson, and then they wind up shaking hands in the middle of the ring. Aaron?
I dug the angle, and it's like probably the first like big epic thing or whatever that the ECW did. I mean, it was kind of the first thing of, okay, holy shit, these guys are coming out of the woodworks. They weren't going to be like the big reveals, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they didn't turn the lights off, but it's kind of like the beginning of that.
Well, don't you think it's even better than turning the lights off?
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, this is like the first thing that really kind of was like, okay, this shit's crazy. You don't know exactly what's going to happen. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah. If you're in the ECW arena and they turn the lights off and they turn it back on, and then it's Kevin Sullivan, are you really surprised? Oh, good Lord, it's Kevin Sullivan again. Or if it's what's his name? Bill DeMont. Just the Crash Terminator. Oh, good night. Oh, look at this. They cut the lights off for Bill DeMont.
Oh, look, it's Pat Tanaka.
Dude, I'm telling you, that's the only show from ECW that I wish that I wasn't booked on another date for. I was booked on a book show in Baltimore. I told you guys about this. Mm-hmm. And it was the same night, but I was making way more money than I would have made working for ECW that night. And I had no, I mean, it wasn't like Paul said, I need you here because Arn and Bobby's going to be here.
Right.
Like even if I was there, what am I going to be like? Who's that blonde haired jobber, Keith Larson, that came out when Ric Flair won the NWA World Title and helped Don Cornelius pick him up over his head? Is that what you wanted me there for? I mean, I don't know.
You could have been one of the masked handlers. Maybe that would have been better than Rockin' Rebel as one of the masked handlers of Sabu. Chad,
if I was the masked handler?
Yeah.
Oh, like they wouldn't see through that. You have a couple of big guys, and you got this slouch like me walking out there.
Joey Styles would have put you over though, because he loves to put you over.
Is that Chad Austin? Is he wearing Zubaz? Is he handling Sabu? What's going on here? And then the gimmick is that there's no chance that I can control him.
You just laid out on the floor right from the beginning.
Or I hurt him by knocking the thing over while I'm wheeling him. I accidentally I hit a rock on the way to because the ECW arena floor is just concrete, so there's got to be divots in there and stuff. I'm wheeling him out, and all of a sudden I hit a bump in the road, and Sabu, because that chain, let's be honest, it's not holding him in there. It's linked from one side to the other, and it's hooked to the hand cart. So yeah, what if I was wheeling him out there, and all of a sudden I hit like a rock, and all of a sudden Sabu goes flying, and he falls down? Would that not have been one of the greatest ECW debuts ever?
and Joey still would have been like, Chad Austin's still an up and comer. He's still an up and comer.
Yeah,
He's still a great rookie. We love him.
he not only does he have to learn his food handling skills for delivering DoorDash, he has to figure out how to overcome these obstacles here in ECW.
Well, we hit Joey Styles up again in the Eagle's Nest here. He's talking about when worlds collide, and that the TV title is going to be on the line, and the Pitbull will be defending the title, and they're going to announce who he's going to be defending against. So they go to a promo with the Pitbull and Jason, which starts off pretty much as a standard heel promo from these two guys.
Yeah, but did you guys get the Olive Grove promo after the first segment with Arn and all that? Did you guys get that commercial?
I didn't. Did you, Aaron?
No.
Oh, good Lord. I got an Olive Grove commercial, and I had to ask Jess, where is the nearest Olive Grove? And she said, I thought you were watching wrestling. And I said, I'm thinking about endless pasta and bread. Salad.
A nice big meal would be much better than what I'm watching here.
Oh, yeah. Don't just give me mozzarella sticks. That's what this show is. It's like overdone mozzarella sticks.
I was gonna say these couple of mozzarella sticks, Jason and Gary Wolf here. Now they announced that his challenger is going to be Taz. Now, what I want to say here, I don't know if either one of you guys caught this, but Pitbull talks about, he says he obviously thinks he wants to say he is numero uno, but he says he is umero uno.
Yeah, that's the end. That's how he ends it. How he begins the whole thing is Joey asks about JT Smith, and he says, it's as simple as I'm about to tell you about it right now. Like, I don't think that's a right sentence. And fucking Jason standing behind him, and I just wrote like, these fucking clown shoes can't put a sentence together. They don't have no fucking idea what they're talking about. He calls him the Tasmaniac Devil.
Well, I thought the promo was an old promo.
Nope.
It wasn't old because of that camera stock that they use looked like that shit they used back at right around the Cabrini College stuff.
Now this promo is, it's fresh to this show because they're working it up for Taz to be the challenger at When Worlds Collide, and they're going to work Pitbull into being on commentary during Taz's match coming up.
He also says that if Taz wants to brawl, he'll brawl. If you want to punch, I'll punch. If you want to karate, I'll karate. And then he says, I can beat you because the JT Smith beat you in the middle of the ring. The JT Smith.
Like he's the Rock.
Well,
good.
Let's be honest. There's few on the mic that are as good or as noticeable as JT Smith. maybe as good as The Rock is not the right word, but as noticeable,
as memorable.
Yes, because when you start hearing "Why Savey, man," when you start hearing that, you know shit's going down.
You don't exactly know what shit's going down, but you know some shit's going down.
And it's probably him getting beat.
Ah, shit. Anything else on that promo, Aaron? Because you got good notes. I like it.
Oh, it was just like I said, there's a couple fucking clown shoes just mumble fucking around. It was bad. Just bad. And long. Like it was so fucking long. Dealing with fucking Jason and fucking Pitbull. Good God.
Yeah, dude, they I don't know. I mean, I don't know how it worked. I don't know what they were looking for. Whether or not Paul was just, again, don't we say this almost weekly on this show that Paul just looks for a reason to kill time,
Mm-hmm.
and he has these guys. You know what other territory? Come on, I'll wait. What other territory do you see where guys cut like 5-minute promos? Isn't it normally 30 seconds? 45 seconds, and if it's a hot angle, we might give you a minute and a half. You know, maybe on a lot. You know what I mean, on a live mic or whatever. It's usually in that time frame. But dude, they just kept cutting back to Jason.
The only people that probably ever had during if you're talking about a territory show that had promos sometimes that might be that long. Were guys you can justify being on TV that long, like a Ric Flair or a Dusty Rhodes, but not the Pitbull. You know, I mean, there's a stark difference between that. I mean, you get a 5-minute Horseman promo that makes sense. There's 4 of them. They're charismatic. They have a lot to say. They got a lot of feuds going on, et cetera, et cetera. But like Aaron said, these clown shoes, Pitbull and Jason, just wasting oxygen.
Well, I could probably justify that by saying, because Gary lived, I don't know, roughly 45 minutes to an hour away from the studio. So if Paul needed somebody for post-production, and you'll see it on all the shows until we go completely live to tape from the ECW arena, that the shows, when they still say that Joey Styles is live in the Eagle's Nest, they're all still shot at the same spot. That Pitbull was, he lives close enough that Paul could get him to come to the studio,
right?
And he probably paid him $75. You know what I mean, or whatever, because because it was in, what was it, Media, Pennsylvania, wherever it was. It wasn't that far from where the Pitbulls live, so it wasn't that hard. That's why they kept breaking that same door. That dressing room with the star on it.
And it brings to my mind something that we've mentioned. I guess I'll say this is, I almost think of the same respect of Gary Wolf that we've talked about, Hawk, in that I like Pitbull 1 and 2 together, but Pitbull just by himself here doesn't work, if that makes sense. Like, it's almost like and I'm not comparing the Legion of Doom and the Pitbulls, but I'm saying Gary Wolf is as part of a unit with the other Pitbull works, but him as a singles guy here doesn't work, and Jason doesn't help, I don't think.
Well, I think you were pretty accurate, man. I think that you're not really off by saying that.
Mm-hmm.
That if you're comparing the Pitbulls to the Road Warriors, or is that who you meant, the Road Warriors?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're in the same realm of what they do, but maybe they both achieve a different level of success. Just because they've achieved a different level of success doesn't mean that they're not cut out of the same mold.
Mm-hmm.
And again, who are you going to cheer more for? Hawk and Animal, or Hawk and Drops?
Right. Yeah.
Or whoever, whatever, whoever they do in ECW. I don't, they put Hawk out there with, anybody. At this point, the only person you could have put Hawk with was Mikey.
Mm-hmm.
But Mikey's not even ready yet, right?
No, not yet.
He's not. I mean, we haven't even got the heat wave for my match with Mikey. So he's not even been heated up yet.
The only thing that I will give anybody any credit for in this promo was when Joey told him that they were going to be fighting Taz. Like Gary Wolf, he wasn't acting scared, obviously, but like when Gary wasn't looking at him, like Jason was like, "Oh shit!" Like had that "oh shit" look on his face. And whenever Gary would turn and look at, or whenever Gary would turn and look at Jason, Jason was like, "Yeah, man, you'll get him." And then when he turned back around, he was like, "Oh shit!" Like I don't want to fight the Tasmaniac. So I'll give Jason some credit on that. But other than that, this promo was just fucking train wreck.
Well, I mean, but what did you expect? I mean, the best person you're going to get words out of their mouth in this whole entire thing is Jason. I mean, when you're putting together your match with the person you're working or the segment you're doing, you got to look at all the sums of the parts, and you're like, "Who is this about? What? I mean, you want me to do what? Like, Jason? I don't know. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah. Well, these guys are watching a match between Taz and Stormin Mike Norman with the Pitbull on commentary.
Norman had a bad night.
Yes, he did.
Well, dude, I wrote down his name before they said it because I wasn't sure they were going to say it because the match didn't look like it was going to go that long. So I was like, "Oh, that has to be Stormin Mike Norman. It has to be."
He went face first in that fucking table. Good lord. Hit the bell. It was fucking rough.
he got fucked up.
Yeah, I Taz was somebody that I wouldn't be messing around with. I mean, I'm glad that I was supposed to work Taz when he was Taz.
Mm-hmm.
I would have much rather work him while he was Taz, because even though he was way more aggressive, he was way more experienced and he was way more safe than this time. Because them clotheslines and shit, are you fucking kidding me?
Well, and he's also trying to, what do I want to say? He's trying to work, quote unquote, a savage style because that's the gimmick, which means that he's wrestling, what do you want to say, unhinged or whatever. And like you said, that doesn't make, if he doesn't know what he's doing, and he's supposed to not look like he knows what he's doing, it makes him double dangerous, really.
Oh, double dangerous.
Double dangerous.
Well, then how come he didn't do the Kamala pin? Or somebody has to tell him, you got to roll him over.
He should have done that.
Yeah, he really should have done that. But did he have a manager?
Well, he was with Sullivan a couple of weeks ago, but I think Sullivan's gone now. So at this point, no, he doesn't have a manager. And I don't know. I honestly don't know how far we are away from him dropping the Tasmaniac gimmick. My brain doesn't have it in.
We're like a ways away from it.
Okay.
Well, that's one of my favorite episodes, because I think if I remember correctly, it's like when I had first got into Tennessee, and me and my roommate were watching the shows, and that was the one where he was doing the commentary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I was like, "Oh my God, that's Taz." Yeah, that was great.
Pitbull's final comments are, as far as the TV title goes, he says he would die to keep it, but would I kill? So that's his salvo there to end the segment. Nothing great here, but I think we summarized it. We actually spent a lot more time on this segment than I thought we'd get out of it. Good job, fellas.
It seems to be a common thread when you talk about the pit bulls.
This is true.
We spend way too much time like beating them up, and they're both dead, right?
No, Gary Wolf's alive.
Gary was still alive.
Are you sure? I think the last time I asked that question, you said he was alive.
Yeah, Gary
But
Wolf's the guy. Gary Wolf's the guy that said he thinks Vince McMahon secretly owns AEW.
Every week going forward, it's gonna be like, all right, it's a Gary Wolf death check.
Yeah, I think he wrote that down on a piece of paper, and somebody found his journal, and he wrote it like years ago.
Somebody's just tweeting as the pit bull, Gary Wolf.
Like he's like Nostradamus or some shit. Actually, I don't think he's Nostradamus. I don't know. I don't think he's that smart. Yeah, I don't think he's. Well, if he could predict his own future, he'd still be alive. That's the way I look at it.
I mean, he did have a halo.
Well, apparently, I don't know where it took him, but it got him somewhere.
we now follow this up with a recap of the feud going on between the Bruise Brothers and the Public Enemy. And yes, Pat Tanaka and Paul Diamond are still around, or they might not be. I don't know, because this match was obviously not from the ECW arena. I don't know where it was shot.
This was from the Valley Forge show.
Was it?
Yeah, because it had that ramp.
Okay. Well, it's the Bruise Brothers against Bad Company in this matchup here. Pat Tanaka, Paul Diamond against Ron and Don Harris.
And did you hear what Joey Styles said before the match?
Oh no, was it racist?
About Jeff Jarrett?
No, well, he said that, but he also said that this match is going to show the diversity of the Bruise Brothers. And the last time I read any of the rumors, that's one thing that the Bruise Brothers did not like was diversity.
Yeah, I was going to ask, was it racial diversity? Sexual, misogynistic diversity? Like what?
I think we all understand now why they beat the shit out of Curtis Hughes.
Yeah, poor Curtis Hughes.
if you knew then what you know now. It's funny.
And this match is forcing me to watch these two teams do something that I don't want to watch either one of them do. Actually wrestle.
Oh,
yes,
yeah, I was
here.
going to say work a match.
Yeah, I'd rather watch the Bruise Brothers just kick the shit out of people, and I don't want to watch Pat Tanaka and Paul Diamond wrestle anymore.
As much as I hate it because it's been done to death, it's like the soup du jour. Like when the bell rings, they just all lock up, and then they all just roll out to the floor. And then it's just a melee, you know what I mean? A melee, and then it's all hell's broken loose, blah blah blah, and then they eventually get back to the ring and something leads to a finish. I agree with you, Aaron, that it was good to see like a clean, decisive win,
Yeah. Well, and it was and I know Aaron just said he would prefer to watch the Bruise Brothers brawl as opposed to wrestle here, but my thing about this match, and I tried to watch it and not think I just want Bad Company to go away. I tried to take it for what it was. And what I wrote down in my notes was that this was it was a decent showcase for Ron and Don to show, a little something different, than what they've shown us so far. And it almost came off like the Bad Company was working as the heels and the Bruise Brothers were working as the faces in this match. To me, that's the way it felt anyway.
Well, I mean, it's also the sign of like I've said in previous weeks, that Pat Tanaka and Paul Diamond are on their way out. But I mean, even though they seem to like keep trying to give their 2 weeks notice, but they just keep booking them. But yeah, this has got to be right. It has to be like their 2 week notice.
And it's not even that. Okay, it's not even that. When I say I don't want to watch these guys wrestle, it's not even that I hate Pat Tanaka and Paul Diamond as a team. Like when they were in WWF and they were the Orient Express or whatever, they had like great matches with the Rockers and shit like that. But I don't want to see Pat Tanaka and Paul Diamond anymore. Like they've ran their course. Yeah. Go the fuck home. Nobody wants you here. Take a fucking hint.
Yeah, you've been here long enough, man. Yeah. You've done all you're gonna do. neither one of you two ham bones are gonna like set the world on fire if we split them up and put them in singles competition. So, hey Pat, go back to the AWA, and then Paul, don't you live in Canada?
We'll set them up in a. They're gonna feud with each other now. They're gonna be in a Diamond's mullet versus Pat Tanaka's PJs match. If Diamond loses,
Jesus Christ, I hope fucking Pat Tanaka wins. I don't need to see him.
Yeah, hopefully it's in Canada.
I just meant he couldn't wear the PJs anymore. I didn't mean he had to be stripped of them in front of our eyes.
I don't need Pat Tanaka in his birthday suit.
I think I've seen him naked before. I think I've seen just about everybody in the ECW locker room naked before.
Now we go to Joey
Except for one you wanted, which was Nancy. Like that's the only one that I would actually want to see naked. It'd be Nancy.
Dude, Nancy?
Yeah.
Oh, you ain't gonna see, dude. Nancy will get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and look like she's getting ready to walk out on a runway by 7:30, 8 o'clock breakfast. I'm telling you, it's incredible of what she looks like. She looks like every day is a red carpet day. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that was the highlight of this show. That opening video they stretched some time, so they played more footage from like over the year or whatever. Fucking Nancy footage. I was like, well, there's the highlight of the show. You gonna get any better than that? Jesus.
It's all downhill from here. Yeah.
Kevin Sullivan was a lucky man.
Yeah, I think he had pictures. Well, I'm pretty sure he did have pictures.
Up next, Joey talks to us about When Worlds Collide coming up, the big event. It's going to be Terry Funk and Arn Anderson, of course, against Sabu and Beautiful Bobby. And we get a promo here with two pros, Terry Funk and Arn Anderson. Aaron, you want to start us off on this?
I like you said, it's two pros, so it's going to be good. Terry did a good job of like saying like, "Hey, Arn, you're," without saying it, he's like, "You're from the commercial wrestling company, and it's different down here, so be ready for that because shit's crazy down here, and you ain't gonna be used to it." So,
hey, excuse me for interrupting, but Aaron, wasn't this the interview where he was kind of somber? Like he was kind of talking like not like screaming or doing a wrestling promo.
Yeah, it was two veteran guys just talking to each other. And I like
okay,
that.
Yeah, all right. I just wanted to make sure that was the way it came across to you too.
Yeah, like Terry had his bandage on his head, and he's just like, "Look, man, this is a crazy place," and da 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 da. And Arn was talking about how he wasn't here with any ulterior motives, just to get at Bobby and Paul because he didn't like Paul anymore. And yeah, it was really good. Like Arn flubbed, like he had one flub, but Terry saved it, so it wasn't bad. Like, he messed up. Good Lord. He messed up.
Arn had a flub and Terry saved it.
Yeah, because he's talking about how, like, Arn's talking about how, or Terry's talking about this isn't WCW, and then Arn says it's not about. He's trying to say it's not about WCW or ECW, but he says it's not about WCW or WCW, and then Terry like, yeah, like you said, it's not about WCW or ECW. Like Terry saved it. So yeah.
Well, I mean. It was so in the moment that I guess nobody caught it because I didn't catch it, so that's fine, right?
Yeah, they did a good job building off of referring to their prior animosity between the two of them. Arn made it clear to Terry, like Aaron said, that he didn't come to ECW to save Terry Funk. He came to ECW to get at Paul E. And but then they agree to team up and shake hands at the end of the promo. Any thoughts on this at all, Chad, that you want to elaborate on?
No, I thought it was great, man. I mean, you can clearly tell by like the crowd reaction that it was over.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the people that were there. I mean, how great is Philadelphia, man? Like, who would you say was over in, what was this, 94, right?
Yep.
Who was over in 94 in the WWE? I don't know. Just give me one name, two names.
Scott
I don't
Hall.
know.
Scott Hall as Razor Ramon was pretty over.
Brett.
Okay, well, besides Brett, clearly, come on, Aaron. Seriously, I mean, if you would have took any ex WWE person from that time period or WCW person in that time period and put him in Philadelphia, do you think it would have worked the same? Could you find somebody you could put in that position to make it to be the same?
No,
there's no way they're gonna not cheer that fucking Arn Anderson is there, and Bobby Eaton. Like I said last week, the fucking Midnight Express was always fucking over like Rover in Philadelphia. So they picked the best two guys.
I have the handheld. Like I didn't tape it, but I have a copy of it. Of the Midnight Express beating Tully and Arn in Philadelphia, and it's ridiculous. I can't believe how big that pop was when the Midnight Express like won over.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, at that time in '94, the only other guy they could have used other than Bobby or Arn, WCW wise, probably would have been Rick Rude. They would have lost their shit if Rick Rude showed up.
I think that was too soon. To me, that would have been too soon. I think that Rick Rude was still kind of on everybody's kind of back burner and being flaked around by not doing shit and everywhere else. I think in Philadelphia that Bobby Eaton is like Tully Blanchard was another guy, you know. I mean, you got to really think outside the box when it comes to Philadelphia. You can't just say like, oh yeah, well if we send Ric Flair out there, he'll be over. Well, yeah, you can send Ric Flair to Walmart, he'll be over. But I mean, you know, you can't get Ric Flair to go to every fucking Walmart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you gotta kind of pick and choose the people that you want to get over, and they got him over, and I thought it was a brilliant job. I thought it was good.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We get a promo bit from Paulie.
There's actually only one wrinkle in this whole thing, and it's fucking wrestling logic. So whatever. The only thing I look at it and I'm like, well, what if the Bruise Brothers wouldn't have beat up Mr. Hughes, and they actually would have did the Terry Funk Mr. Hughes match? Paulie's plan wouldn't have worked.
True, yeah, because he would have had no reason for Sabu to have a match with Terry Funk.
Yeah, so that's the only thing I think they should have done is they should have said that Paulie paid off the Bruise Brothers to kick the shit out of Mr. Hughes. That's the only thing I would have did.
Oh, you mean like just connect the dots a little more?
Yeah, because if the Bruise Brothers wouldn't have taken out Curtis Hughes, it would have been Curtis Hughes versus Terry Funk, and Bobby Eaton would have had no reason to be in there. And yeah, that's the only thing that I saw that I'm like,
poor Bobby Eaton he'd still be sitting in Huntsville, Alabama, like Dennis Stamp waiting for that call.
On a trampoline.
Jumping on a trampoline in his little shorty shorts and baby weights.
So you think Bobby Eaton called Mr. Hughes and thanked him? Like thanks, buddy, for not showing up.
Thanks for getting your ass handed to you before that match.
Yeah. Like that was the easiest like 550 I ever made. Like, I'm so glad you didn't show up because not only did I get my probably 550, I probably got your 250 for not being here because I was a backup, or him and Arn split it. I'm sure that Arn. Well, Aaron, you probably know this, or Nate, you probably know this. You do all the research, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't Wasn't Arn and Bobby a byproduct of the lawsuit?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It was a trade off. It was like like I think we even said it last week that Bobby Eaton and Arn Anderson are probably marked down in a paper somewhere as payment. Instead of cash, it's an appearance by Bobby Eaton and Arn Anderson.
Yeah, and then what? Ball pays them what? A couple $100 a piece,
Mm-hmm.
and the lawsuit, whatever money covers the rest of it, or whatever. Is that how that works?
Buys them a few beers and they get to drink with Terry Funk. Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Well, I'm not against that. Believe me, I've worked for several bar tabs. I mean, I've worked for several bar tabs. Even not when I was wrestling. Oh, I did. Yeah. Well, I did dishes tonight for not having a bar tab. Me and the lovely Miss Jess went out for dinner, and I didn't have any money. And when the check came, and I didn't have any money, she said, "You know where the kitchen's at? You've been here a million times." and I just told the bartender, "Don't worry, I got you." Because I even brought my own gloves. Because I knew it.
Even saving the company money. Look at that.
Yeah, because I knew I didn't have any money. I looked at my credit card. I have negative $7 on my credit card, and I'm below like $3 on my Bank of America card. So I legitimately have no money. And then I went up to look at all the change that I have, and my change like thing just gave me a big sad face. It said like, you ain't put change in here in a while, man. This thing is hurting.
There's an echo in here.
Yeah, I drop a nickel and it wakes up the kid. Jesus, dude. If I was Jess, how much more poor could I be? I don't understand. Like she's like taping up like Christmas stuff right now, like around the house, and luckily she has a job, because if she relied on me to get Scotch tape, she would get Dutch tape. She would get like generic. It'd be like reversible. It wouldn't work. She would go to try to put it on, and it would stick to her.
Why is this shit upside down?
Yeah. I'm sorry, babe. I mean, I don't have any money.
Well, speaking of money, up next, it's a money promo for Paul Heyman with Bobby Eaton. I thought this was a great promo by Paulie. Obviously, that's what he does. Does a great job of bringing up the history with the Dangerous Alliance and Arn Anderson and Bobby Eaton, making great references to the past. Another thing that I thought was cool in this was in putting Sabu over. He actually said Sabu is the heir to Terry Funk's throne, which I thought was a cool thing to throw in to the promo. What'd you guys think?
You know what Bobby did that I liked? That was cool. Like he wasn't cutting a promo, but like Paulie would be like saying something, and then Bobby would just be like, "Here's your baby." Like he'd tell Paulie, "Hey, yeah, I beat that guy," and then Paulie would be like, "Yeah." What Bobby said, like he was like Bobby didn't cut a promo; he was just telling Paul things in his ear.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. Because I mean, obviously Bobby was never known for his promos and shit, but I like the fact they played that off, that Bobby's not the most outspoken guy in the world. Like the only person he's comfortable talking to in this locker room is Paulie. Like,
yeah, and Paulie's the yeah, he's gonna kick your ass guy. Yeah.
I don't know. I must have legitimately missed like that part, and I don't know why. Maybe my part didn't show that. But what was that again? What was the whole premise of what we were talking about? Like,
Paulie was just talking about how him and Bobby were offended because Arn would talk about being with Ric Flair and being with the Horsemen and this, that, and the other thing, but was essentially saying that Arn never brings up the Dangerous Alliance, and he was like,
Yeah, I didn't see that. I mean, did you guys watch it on Peacock?
Yeah, I did.
And they aired that part?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean, I don't know how. It's
You must
like,
have got an Olive Garden commercial instead.
dude. I mean, my refrigerator is like 8 feet from the sofa, and the TV's in the middle of it. So there's no way I didn't hear it. But I swear I don't have anything written down. Like, the next thing I have is an interview with Funk and Arn, and I just like, well, that was good stuff. That's Funk and Arn. What do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know what to put. Good interview, and like waste the ink of my free pen that I got from getting a new bank account. This cheap ass pen, and it only works it don't work upside down.
You got screwed. You should have got the toaster.
Oh no, my bank's cheap. They don't give out toasters, dude. They barely validate parking. It's the only bank that I go to that you got to pay to park.
And with interest.
Yeah, but it's not your interest. I always tell them, like, when they talk about shit plus interest, I just tell them I'm not interested.
There's no lack of interest here. Yeah.
Yes, I'm not interested. Well, it's going to be 9%, 18%. No, not interested. You have two options. You can either interest me, or not interest me. But
Barbie from the premises.
Anymore. It says $79.99 on the website. That's what I'm paying.
That is it.
Yes. And I'll pay the Maryland state sales tax. That's fine. 6%. Oh, that's not going to kill me. Ooh, $6-7. Wow. But take my breath away. But any all the other fees, no, I'm not interested. So I don't think Miss Jess is going to have much of a Christmas.
That you got to find the bank with the toaster.
Yeah, I should. I would much rather find a bank with a prostitute. Like, I frequent the wrong neighborhoods. I need to go to like one of these like loan shops. I need to go to like some pizza joint and have to go through a curtain in the back.
I actually literally ran I ran a Dollar General store for a while that it was in the ghetto, and I used to have to on Saturday night I have to chase prostitutes away from the bushes at my store. Like, get fucking hookers, get away from the bushes of my Dollar General store. Jesus Christ. Stop bums from taking baths in the bathroom. That was an adventure.
It's hilarious you say that because my mom works at a Dollar General store. And when she was younger, she used to be a truck stop hooker.
It's full circle.
Yeah. I mean, what else are you going to be? If you spend a quarter of your life being a prostitute, just look forward to being a Dollar General employee. Embrace it, man. Just drink it in. Like, that's as far as you're going to go. I wouldn't get the premium package on cable if I were you, Ma. HBO costs like $12 more a month.
Now we're heading into a recap of the situation with Tommy Cairo, the Sandman, and our buddy Sal Balomo.
I didn't see this either.
Seriously?
No, I don't have any of this. I didn't see nothing.
I mean, you didn't miss much.
It was the match where if whoever lost got whipped. Like if Sandman lost, then Peaches got to whip him, and if Cairo lost, he got to whip Peaches, and Tommy Cairo won. So then the Cabrini connection, which is fucking Tommy Cairo and
Cabrini connection.
Sal Balomo, they hold Sandman and Peaches whips him. It is.
And then Sandman shows everybody Peach's ass. And
this didn't air on my television.
See, I guess they digitized it because her dick fell out.
Peaches? Peaches showed her apples?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Peaches' banana fell out?
Yeah. Peaches had a dick.
Dude, my TV didn't show any of this. There's no chance.
You gotta buy the premium cock, man.
There's no chance that my refrigerator is that far away that I missed this. It's in the same room, like as the TV. Like, there's no way that I missed this. You know, if I get up and I walk to the refrigerator, I can still hear the TV. I never heard of any of this. Like, I looked when the show was over, and I said, "How long was the show?"
It looks like it
was.
I was going to say, it looks like for you it was about 24 minutes because
yeah, I was 46 minutes of this. 46.
Yours was?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what peacock that I get or whatever, but I showed you the picture of my notes, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't see any of this, and I'm wondering why that we're trying to get an hour out of this show, because if I would have seen most of the stuff that we're talking about now, then definitely I could have gave you a better vantage point or an opinion on what happened. But no, I didn't see any of this.
Good thing Aaron's descriptive.
well, Peaches and the Cabrini connection, they beat up Sandman, and then they throw him out of the ring.
Connection.
And then the Sandman comes back, and he beats them up, and then they beat him up again and throw him out, and they go to leave, and as they're leaving, Tommy Cairo and Sal Balomo are ahead of Peaches, and then
you're kidding me.
Out of nowhere, woman grabs Peaches, throws her back in the ring to the Sandman, and then that's when we get the digitized Peaches cock, and they beat her up, and now we've seen the debut of Sandman and woman together.
Are we talking about ECW from April 26, 1994?
Yes, sir.
Okay. No. Nothing. None of this.
The point of all of this.
I got the last I got was an interview with Terry and Arn, and then I wrote a great Sandman interview. So I guess that kind of catches up to what you said, Aaron, what you just said. To fill it all in. But other than that, no, I don't have any of this stuff. Like, I don't know what the fuck happened. There's no way it took me 8, 9, 10 minutes to go from the sofa to the refrigerator to get a beer when the refrigerator's in the same room as the TV. So I mean, do you think something was wrong?
It could have very well your stream could have skipped. I don't know, but yeah, like I said, we watched 46 minutes. I think you watched 26 minutes.
Or you went over to your neighbor's house and got in their refrigerator.
I'm not going over there because I don't speak any of their languages. I'm looking around right now, I'm looking around like what neighbor I would run to if we had an emergency. I don't think any of them would understand if I just can't. When I live right next door to the Sheik, and on the other side of my house, I live next door to Tiger Jeet Singh. And I'm just waiting any time now for them guys to come out and meet them with swords in the middle of the street. And I'm in the middle here.
Bloodbath. The bloodbath in Baltimore. Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll gig them. Why the one hasn't pinned down or has her pinned down? Because I think one's wife is a lot tougher than the other one, than the husband. So I'll gig her.
The point of this segment is getting to at When Worlds Collide is going to be a tag team match. The Sandman and Woman versus Tommy Cairo and Peaches in the first ever Singapore cane match at When Worlds Collide. So that is what's coming up out of that. And then, like Chad said, we get a promo from the Sandman. And it's Sandman's finally morphed into Sandman here, full-fledged.
Smoking a cigarette. Was he drinking a beer?
He didn't have a beer yet.
All right, well, he's smoking a cigarette though, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, good for him, yeah. So, I mean, yeah. At least he's allowed to. Remember when he was smoking, like, the first time back in Cabrini College, and I was wondering if the school was going to have a problem with that?
Yeah.
Hey, not in my gym, buddy.
It's like Gene Okerlund at Royal Rumble 92. You better put that cigarette out.
Yeah. No, I was thinking Fast Times at Ridgemont High when Damone got into a fight with Ratner in the gym, and he was like, "What do you want to do? Something about it?" And the coach comes out and goes, "Hey, take it somewhere else." And he goes, "Not in my gym, buddy." That's what I was thinking. Like, oh, yeah, they really handled this situation.
Well, at the end of the day, Chad, I know apparently you didn't get to see the whole show, but overall, what did you think of this show? Is this an improvement?
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Aaron.
I was going to say the Sandman gimmick. Did you guys, I might have brought this up before, but did you ever hear Todd Gordon talk about it? About turning Sandman into the actual Sandman?
I have not.
He tried to say that he told Paulie that we should let Hack be Hack and let him go out there with a cigarette and a beer and just be his crazy self. And Paulie was like, no, we need to keep him the Surfer Sandman. And Todd was like, it's my money, Paulie. We're going to do what I want. It's like,
I don't believe that at all.
I don't believe that at all.
No.
No.
Paulie was like, this fucking guy is a character. We need to get him out. Like, there's no way that was.
Did you just call him a character?
Yeah, he's a fucking character, Hack.
This guy's a character, man.
You ever seen that fucking raw footage those people filmed of him at fucking Captain Lou Albano's like 80th birthday party or whatever?
Oh, the banquet thing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, man, that fucking shit. Like, Paulie saw that fucking Hack was Hack, and like, why is he a surfer? We need to make this guy a fucking
drunk.
Like, let him be himself. And Todd tries to say that was his fucking idea. No way.
Yeah, I call bullshit on that. Hardcore bullshit.
Dude, I have been to shows where he has brought beer to the show. And I have brought beers to the show. And I don't know how many beers he brought because he came in a van. Like, he drives like a big van, like a conversion van. So he probably had more beers in the van, but I brought more beers to the show. Like, when I walked in, I said, "This is my fucking beer."
Stay away from it.
Yeah, like, I'm not even dealing with you, dude. Stay over there, dude. You could be the HB of the week. But just don't worry about it, pal.
So overall, guys, what did we think of this week's edition of ECW? you know, I mean, better? Are we getting better? Are we status quo? Have we stepped backwards as we do some weeks? What do you think, Aaron?
I don't think we stepped backwards. I think it was just kind of a status quo of just basically recapping what happened last week and sprinkling in a little bit of what you're going to see at the When the Worlds Collide show. And honestly, at the start of this thing, we've been going over this stuff. This is the show. I mean, there's plenty of shows going forward that I'm looking more forward to, but this is the one that I've been looking forward to the most, because that I really love the fucking Arn Anderson, Bobby Eaton coming in thing, and this is like, to me, it's a show that's even more important than the When the Line Was Crossed show, because it was just, this was the first thing that when I was a kid that got my attention with ECW, because they were like talking about it in the magazines and shit, because it's fucking Arn Anderson and Bobby Eaton, you know, so, and the lawsuit and all that shit. So I'm really looking forward to when we get to that When Worlds Collide show.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're doing that show.
Yes.
All right, well, that's the only show in my ECW collection that I don't have.
What's on the network?
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's on Peacock.
Oh, well, I have the cock. Oh, that's great. All right, I didn't know that, because, like, literally when I was around back then, that show was never out then, and it didn't come out till years and years later.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I never got it.
And it's also going to be the first show of the Reliving the Extreme that we're going to do live.
Yes.
What do you mean live?
We're going to go live on the Facebook as a video stream and record the show live in front of the listeners. Let them interact if they want to.
What, Archie Mitchell already put in for time off for that night? so he can listen.
Gets a little PTO, yeah.
Yeah, there's your Archie Mitchell reference.
You're welcome, Archie. Check's in the mail, I promise.
Dude, I was listening to his show. I half-ass kind of like his show.
I think his show's good for him doing it solo. You know, I mean, I don't know if I could do a show solo for 45 minutes.
I was listening to his show while I was putting dishes away today. Like, you know, I listen to a lot of stuff while I'm doing my Chad chores around the house.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll put on the network and just see what's going on, and it's Archie Mitchell, and I'll just put it on. I'm like, all right, well, I didn't turn it off.
That's saying something, yeah.
I mean, because I have a routine. I listen to Busted Open from 9 to noon every day, and then after that, I listen to, you know, a whole host of other podcasts while I'm doing shit, and while I'm dashing at doors. But yeah, it's not terrible, but yeah, it definitely needs a little bit of work. Poor Archie.
Are you talking about Archie, or are you talking about the CCW show? Because he could be mentioned. He could be talking about either one.
All of it. Maybe Archie should have been working for ECW around this time. Then we can kill two birds with one stone. Just they both stink. Like, this show was awful, and Archie's awful.
Well, Archie, we want to thank you for joining us this week.
Here, buddy.
On Reliving the Extreme. And Aaron, Chad, any parting words for our listeners this week?
For me, not necessarily. I have to go back in the house and wash my hand because our outside feral cat just attacked me, and I'm bleeding.
Son of a bitch cat.
And I don't know if this bitch has rabies or not or anything, and she gigged my arm. I'm like Onita over here.
Jesus.
As soon as I get off of this, I'm playing a Wild Thing before I walk into the house. And I'm going to look at Jess and I'll be like, yeah.
Like,
Wild Thing.
And he'd be like, I owe Nita a tetanus shot.
Yeah, dude, I think I do, because this cat just mauled me. And then it couldn't even get its claw off of me. And I'm the one that feeds it.
That's how cats are, man. Mine are the same
Fucking
way.
assholes. Cats
Yeah.
are
Piece of cat. No,
Aaron,
other than that, no. Just keep following us. I mean, did you know that I changed my Twitter handle, or is it my Facebook group? I don't know. Just give the plug like normal.
All right. Well, on my Twitter, you're still at Chad Austin Demira. So, and you still got Chad's video vault too on Facebook, to what I see. So I'm not sure. I'll check again when we sign off here to make sure. Aaron, you have anything?
Not really. Just keep listening to the shows. And we all love fucking listener feedback, whether it's positive or negative. Fuck, negative's
Yes.
better.
Negative's
Fucking
better.
I don't give a shit. I love it.
And we all love Sal Balomo.
Yes, we love the Salvalomo.
God rest
And this show is definitely for the kids.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us, everybody.
Do you think his tombstone is a pizza?
No, it's the pizza box. It's opened up where you can see the name where it says hot, fresh pizza on the outside, and then somebody wrote in crayon on the inside of it. Like his date and all that shit.
Rest in peace, Sal. We'll see you next week, everybody.
Rest in pizza, Sal.
On Reliving the Extreme.